The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Welcome to Getting to Know You. My name is Joe Nash. Today we're going to be talking about the Albany Barn, which is the old St. Joseph's Academy down on 2nd Street and North Swan, down in Arbor Hill. And we have with us Casey Palamain, is that right? The operations manager, or assistant operator, and Aaron Holbritter. And we're going to be talking about mainly two events that are taking place down at the barn. It's a play called Dog Sees God, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead. It's going to be on 3 consecutive Friday and Saturdays on May 29th and 30th, June 5th and 6th, and June 12th and 13th. And there's a kickoff event on the 28th called the Throwback Thursday. So we're going to talk about all that, plus the barn. So welcome.
Thank you.
For our long introduction. So Casey, before we talk about these events specifically, just tell people a little bit about the barn. It's an artist colony, an artist incubator place. Artists live there. They rent space there. There's all kinds of artists. What do you have? Dancers, filmmakers. I understand you actually have a comedian.
We do.
Musicians and all kinds of stuff. So give us a little overview of the barn in general, and then we'll talk about these events coming up.
Sure. Well, the slogan of the barn is live, work, inspire. So it's really just a place where artists can come together, live as part of a community and work together. So there are 22 residential apartments at the barn. They are filled right now, and we have a pretty large wait list. So it's definitely a popular place, and people are pretty excited about it. Those people work out of their studios doing painting or photography or video production, things like that. And then in kind of the main area of the barn, there's a large stage where we primarily work, and then there are several studios that are rented, or you can rent by the hour to practice with your band, or take pictures, or film, or really whatever you're looking to do.
The last time I spoke to your executive director, Kristen, that was over a year ago. So how's the last year been in general?
Really great. I mean,
because you have all kinds of events. But talk about something before we talk about the events we're going to talk about in May. Talk about some of the different events you have there. You have all kinds of stuff going on for all ages.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been really nice lately. People are contacting us and saying, I want to do something for the barn. I want to do some work at the barn. So recently we had a free concert from Sweet Plantain, this really great classical jazz infused band, and they just came for a day and played some of their songs, and it was just really, really great to kind of bring the people in the neighborhood to come see this, free show. We had another free concert, kind of like a local rock band. They're called Subslab, and they played at the barn about a month ago. So, in addition to that, we just have a lot of different parties are there, or fashion shows, or rehearsals. So it's really, we're gaining popularity in such a great way.
Do you still have those community drumming events?
We do, yeah. African drum classes every Saturday. It's a loud one, but it's a lot of fun. And
so you'll see, be on the screen, it's albanybarn.org. There are all kinds of events, like Casey just said, but you also have classes and all that kind of stuff.
We do, yep. There's a children's art class that meets once a week. There's a live figure drawing class that meets once a month, and you can sign up for those on our website, and they're really a lot of fun.
So Aaron, you are the director of this play that's going to be down there at the end of May, beginning of June. It's called Dog Sees God, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead. So how did you get involved with the barn, other than that they had available stage space?
Well, actually, back before the barn first opened, a couple of years ago now, Kristen had sort of put out on social media a request that people sort of involved in theater maybe come and take a look at their space, their performance space, before it was finished, because she wanted some advice on things that they could do to sort of make it as conducive to different types of performances as possible. So I reached out to her, we got together. So I got to see the barn space before it really was complete while they were still putting it together. And so we met and we chatted, and I told her that I was really excited about, what they were doing down there. Then we kind of went our separate ways, and then Casey and I sat down just over a year ago to put together our theater collective creative license. And when we were thinking about venues, one of the first places that I thought of was the barn. So we reached out to Kristen then, and we did our first production of A Steady Rain back in November, which we were extremely happy with, and we were extremely happy with the relationship that we'd created with the barn.
And you have all local actors and everything. And your group is called Creative License. You just created it last year, is that?
Yeah, we formed it
a little
last
over a year ago.
And Casey, besides being the operations manager of the barn, are you part of this group?
I am. I'm the co-founder. So
Okay.
Aaron and I started this together.
Okay, so you got your first production under your belt. This new one coming up here, end of May, beginning of June, 29th and 30th, 5th and 6th, 12th and 13th, Friday and Saturday nights. Dog Sees God. Tell me a little bit about this play, and why did you decide to do this one as your second venture?
Well, one of the goals of Creative License has been to, as a collective, to do work that doesn't often get the kind of attention locally that other types of shows. So it's not a Pulitzer Prize winner. It's not a Tony winner. I don't think it may be. I'm pretty sure it's not. But it's within theater circles. It's fairly well known, and it's one of those shows that a lot of companies around here will look at and go, "Oh, it's great, but it's a little profane." So we're gonna pass. I've tried to get a couple of other theater companies to look at doing it, and that's usually sort of
You mean not your
concern,
group?
not our group, but yeah, because we work with different groups in the area, and that was part of what drove us to start Creative License, because we knew A Steady Rain is the same way, a really poignant and powerful show about two police officers that also happens to have police officers who speak the way police officers speak. So it was important to us to be able to find a way to present these types of works, and Dog Sees God really, I think, fit that bill in that it has a lot to say about human nature and the nature of loss and the way that we treat each other, and sort of viewed through the perspective of these characters in particular makes it that much more interesting.
So, but you're saying a lot of companies wouldn't want to do it, so what could this possibly be about that it's so...
Well, it is Dog Sees God. It has a subtitle, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead, and most people are probably familiar with the phrase blockhead from Charles Schultz's Peanuts cartoons. This play is what you would call an unauthorized parody of the Peanuts characters. So what he's done is he's taken the characters that we all know from the cartoon, and he has made them high school teenagers, and they are just sort of dealing with the trials and tribulations and issues that affect kids and teenagers and really all of us, and by doing it through these characters sort of gives everybody a universal perspective. We're all familiar with these characters, so it makes it feel like we know these kids that we're watching.
And what year was this play written? Is it a new work?
It is about 10 years old. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact date, but it's about 10 years
so
old.
it's the teenage problems would be more contemporary than
For sure.
when the Peanuts thing.
Absolutely,
And then-
yeah.
So what would some of the differences be? Like, are the names very similar? Is there a Snoopy?
Our main character is CB.
Okay.
He has a sister who is not referred to by name, only a CB sister. He has a best friend who used to have a security blanket named Van.
Okay.
There's a boy in school named Beethoven who plays the
Okay.
piano.
So that's Schroeder.
There are two female best friends, Trisha and Marcy. I think Marcy might actually be the only character that
Has the same
carries
name.
her character name over from
Yeah.
the cartoon.
And Casey, what is your character's name?
I play Trisha,
Which is
which is based
Sort
off
of based
of
on-
Peppermint Patty, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
so. Aaron, what piqued your interest? Have you seen this play done before?
I had seen a stage reading of it probably about 7 or 8 years ago up in Saratoga, and I was just taken with the play because it's so funny, but it's also extremely powerful.
So it's not. Is it a straight comedy, or is it some comedy with some serious?
It's a comedy with some serious overtones for sure, and it's not, despite the title, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead. It's not an all ages show, so I want to make sure that we stress that the language is pretty.
No kids will be involved, or no kids can come.
Yeah. I mean, parents should make their own choices.
Would it be okay? Would it be okay for teenagers?
I think so. I mean, again, I think it should be something that a decision that a parent should make.
So,
sure.
but the characters are teenagers.
Absolutely.
And then they're in they're in a high school. And
Yeah.
What would be, without giving anything away, what would
Well,
be?
it starts with CB writing to his pen pal, and
Charlie Brown used to do that all the time.
exactly, and letting him know that he recently lost his dog to rabies. And of course, we know the dog, right? And so it set CB off on this quest, really, to find the meaning of life, or to find answers to the question of what happens to us after we die.
Okay.
And that's where the Dog Sees God title comes in.
Okay. So there'll be no Snoopy kind of character. I mean, that's
No.
obviously.
We don't have anybody running around in fake ears.
So that actually sounds like it will be pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I hope so, yeah.
now, besides Casey's is in it, you have who are some of the other actors? I mean, you have local actors.
Yeah. We have a really great crop of some of the best local actors, I think. CB is played by Tom Templeton, who has worked with me before in some shows. Matt, who is a character who is based on Pigpen, is played by Ian LaChance, who has worked a lot in this area. I think anybody who's watching this and has gone to see theater in this area in the last 5 years will see some familiar faces up there.
And then I should say,
Absolutely.
unlike You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, this is not a musical, right?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
so you could say it's a profane comedy or
Yes.
Okay.
A profane comic parody.
And then I have the thing
like
here.
it.
I have the thing here from the website. It's what time is this going to start?
7:30 p.m. is showtime.
Okay, 7:30. That's again Friday and Saturday nights. 6 performances, May 29th and 30th, June 5th and 6th, June 12th and 13th, and on the night before the opening night, which would be Thursday night, May 28th, there's an event called it kicks off this Throwback Thursday, but Throwback Thursdays are sort of a regular event down there, aren't they?
Well, the barn typically has a spring fundraiser. So this year, when we were discussing what we wanted that fundraiser to look like, we kind of decided to tie it in with Dog Sees God. And the barn, it used to be a school. It was St. Joseph's Academy. So there are a lot of little elements in the building that if you see them, it makes you feel like you're in a school. And there's alumni of the school that still live locally. So we kind of wanted to throw it back essentially to the roots of our building and have a kind of a school themed party to raise money for the barn.
And then this is going to be Thursday night, May 28th. So tell us about this event and what you're going to be having. And
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a DJ playing music all night. We are going to have some really great food, kind of a fun take on cafeteria style food, catered by Tara, based out of Albany. Dog Sees God, we're going to do a couple scenes from the show.
Okay.
So
So-
kind of like a little preview since
Okay.
we open the following night. And then just a couple other little surprises throughout the night.
All right. Now, are you encouraging alumni of the school? Is that part of this to come? Or?
Absolutely. I mean, anyone who wants to come,
Okay.
we invite you to come. You can buy tickets on the Barnes website. But I know that Kristen had spoken to a lot of a group of alums that are just
Okay.
really excited to come and be back in the building and sort of get taken back to the time that they were students there.
The school closed when, in the 1970s? Or
I don't know, to
don't
be
know.
honest.
Aaron, do you know?
I don't. I don't. I can check my phone.
So part of this, how much are tickets for this?
There's a couple different levels. You can, if you go to our website, you can see all the different
Okay.
levels. But you can.
But this is a fundraiser.
It is a
All right,
fundraiser. Yep,
so-
it benefits the barn. There's basic levels, and then there's the yearbook club, which
Okay.
gets you a little more perks, some more perks, and those are again listed
But I
on the
mean,
website.
it's always good. The arts always need financial assistance.
Absolutely.
All the arts. And then, Aaron, as part of this Thursday event, you're going to do a couple scenes?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The barn has been so unbelievably great in sort of welcoming us and giving us a place to work, but not just giving us a place to work, but celebrating us being there. So when Kristen sort of reached out to us about the Throwback Thursday idea, we just thought that it was a great opportunity to sort of fuse these two pieces together, because Dog Sees God takes place primarily in a school. We're using a lot more of the space for the production than just the stage.
Okay.
So we're bringing the production down onto the floor and up into some of the more balcony spots, so that, because we realized
Not
we don't
just
need to build a set of a school.
Yeah.
We're in a school. So that's how we're sort of producing the show. And by sort of tying that in with the Throwback Thursday fundraising idea, it allows us to really play up on that school idea. That's how this building started out, and it's about, I think, how much the barn has brought to that area and to that building and revitalized it.
But are you doing the play in the same space? Are you doing it on Thursday?
More or less, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. We might have to shift some things around because the setup for the fundraiser will be different from the way we're setting it up for the show.
So I haven't been to the barn yet. How big is the theater? 'Cause
It holds about, what did
As far
we have?
as seating, we had about 100 seats, I think.
About 110
Okay.
seats
Yeah.
for Steady Rain. It might be a little bit less because of the way we're configuring the space for Dog Sees God.
So, and Casey, since you're the operations manager,
Yes.
other than the two productions of Aaron's group, have there been other plays there?
There has been. I know a group, Confetti Stage. They did
Oh,
a show
okay.
there
They
last
did.
year.
They did.
For the most part, I don't. Other
Okay.
than that, I think it's just really been us. There's there's a lot of concerts
Yeah.
there and parties
Okay.
and shows and things like that.
And then, Aaron, as far as creative license, your troupe, what's in the future for them after this?
Well, we are just getting through.
I know. Well,
Focus
this is
on
your
getting through
second
Dog Sees
production.
God.
I guess I should.
No, that's okay.
But you do have plans to stay around.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, it was always sort of the plan of Creative License to work in multiple venues.
Okay,
and
so-
while I think at this point we've reached the point where we'll always consider the barn sort of our home because they've been so great to us. Our goal has been to try different things in different areas. So to look at doing smaller pieces in unexpected venues. So we're looking at coffee shops or
Okay.
libraries
Yes.
or bars.
And you're interested in doing the unexpected, could you
Yes,
say?
yes,
You're not going to be doing The Sound of Music or
Probably not. Probably not so much Neil Simon, which they're fantastic.
I know.
I mean, that's what I grew up on, and I love them. But there's a lot of that, and we want to try to do something that's a little bit little bit more unique.
Very
One
good.
of the things when we started the company, we kind of tried to look at theater from an outside perspective. You know, what are some things that people would like to see that aren't necessarily versed in the world of theater? So, you know, what kind of shows can we do that aren't those classic musicals? You know, that are just going to get the theater crowd. Not that there's anything wrong with the theater crowd, but we want to kind of break down the walls between the theater world and the general public.
So, and then that sounds like a good endeavor. So, I'll just say it one more time, and then it's Friday and Saturday nights, 6 performances, May 29th and 30th, June 5th and 6th, June 12th and 13th, $15 tickets, Dog Sees God, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead, and the night before, there's the kickoff fundraiser for the barn. There's tons of information. It'll be on the screen, albanybarn.org. Have I forgotten anything, Casey?
Creative License website, Creative License.
Oh, you guys have your, I did not know that. Okay, so that'll be on.
creativelicenseonline.com.
Oh, okay.
We are also currently running a sort of ongoing fundraising campaign. People can find out about that on the website for sure.
But at the moment, you're only based at the barn, your group.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, so maybe we'll see you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then the barn will just be going on. How old is it now? Two or 3 years? Has it been up and running?
The actual space where we are now, a little over a year. The barn worked out of stage 1 for a little bit, which is a smaller gallery type space that's up the street from the building on 2nd. But we've been in this building a little over a year.
Well, it seems like you have a waiting list for artists to get in.
We do.
You have groups wanting to use your space, so it sounds like you guys are off to a pretty good start.
Yeah.
All right, so if people can come down to the barn on these events, please come and see this play. It looks like it'll be pretty good. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it, and we will see you next time on Getting to Know You.